Hello and welcome to Altered Geek Unlimited. I'm your host Steve Megatron Phillips and you are joining me here on my YouTube channel. I have been meaning to do another episode on here for, it's been about a week since my last record. I did the top 10 Batman bat suits, which I thought was pretty interesting to kind of delve into a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some more Altered Gaming coming up soon. I changed my channel a little bit. I'm going to be doing some impressions of character voices from like animation from the 90s and throughout various characters that I've enjoyed over the years. I do have some of that on the channel as well. I have a couple of the old Altered Geeks. I have some of my Altered Gaming. It's going to be quite a bit of different content on the channel for a little bit. But I do have something else planned coming up, and I guess we'll get to that right now with the Altered Geek News Network. First up on the Altered Geek News Network, we have Justice League action from ComicCon. This clip I thoroughly enjoyed. You'll probably see something over in that direction. But what I really enjoyed about this entire clip that they displayed, we had Kevin Conroy as Batman, we had Mark Hamill as the Joker. It sounded like some of the old character cast members, like Susan Eisenberg and some of those people are back. I remember reporting about this a while ago on Altered Geek, and the animation on it's pretty fluid. It kind of gives me that throwback to Justice League with a little bit more cartoony, kind of a Brave and the Bold vibe to it, but a lot brighter like Justice League. So you kind of mix the two and you get this nice rendition. But it looks really cool. I love the new Joker design. I love the new Batman design, the new Batmobile and all that stuff. Looks really cool. Hopefully it lasts longer than the 2 seasons on Cartoon Network. As you know, Comic-Con is going on right now, and it's actually pretty cool because last year during Comic-Con, myself and a few of my co-hosts on Altered Geek, we decided to more or less talk about the events of Comic-Con and how much we would love to be able to see it, although we don't have the means to travel there. And so we were discussing like a streaming service, and lo and behold this year, Comic-Con HQ, which is run by SDCC and so on, you pay a subscription fee per month. I think it's like $6. And it was around the same range. We were talking like $5 to $10. It's an acceptable range per month. Kind of like a Netflix subscription, but you get original shows, geek shows, and you get the panels from the conventions, which they're streaming right now during SDCC, so I highly recommend you check that out. I'll be covering that after SDCC is over. More in depth on some of the things that caught my eye personally. Right now I've seen a couple of the things, but I'm going to wait until next episode that I release of the Altered Geek News Network. This next tidbit, we have Star Trek Beyond. And what I'm hoping for with Star Trek Beyond, I've heard good things about it. I've heard really good things. I've heard that it's made a decent profit. I've heard that it's got more of a vibe of the original series than the 2009 Or Into Darkness had. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they've got involved in this film. They've already greenlit the 4th film, which is going to have Chris Hemsworth return as George Kirk, Captain Kirk's dad, to some capacity. I'm not quite sure how they're going to do that. So it's another enjoyable thing to look forward to in the Abrams universe, Kelvin universe of Star Trek, before we get into the 2017 Star Trek television show by Bryan Singer. So the Power Rangers reboot is going to include the Dinozords and Alpha 5, and they showed off a new promotional photo with the Power Rangers without their masks on, which looks kind of odd and weird, but I'm going to be optimistic for it because, again, these are just promo shots. They almost never look like the actual film, just like a trailer won't. And I kind of expected the Dinozords and Alpha 5 to show up in the film anyway if they're going to be true to the original Power Rangers to some degree. They showed the new Power Coins, which are not necessarily coins. They look like rocks that are colored in the center, which is kind of interesting. And they've got the helmets, which look very similar to the old Power Rangers, only more gritty and with some like kind of line type stuff. Kind of like the stuff that they do to like all the superhero costumes where they add some kind of grit or a layering or some kind of a mesh looking thing to it. So it looks pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to the film and seeing how it looks and how Zordon looks with Bryan Cranston and so on, because we've gotten to see a lot of the other shots of the other characters so far. So I'm really looking forward to that. So another thing that kind of ended within the last week was we had Battlefield 1. And I've really enjoyed Battlefield 1 in all its capacity. I found it to be a very entertaining game. I found a lot of it to be very streamlined. And then there's some aspects, like some of the controls, like as far as like the mouse scrolling, where you could toggle between the different weapons. You've got like, you got to hit 3 and 4 to get to the other two, which is kind of annoying and a little bit of a hindrance when you're doing it. But I still enjoyed the game overall, and I almost enjoy it more than Battlefield 4. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with more than just that one level for Battlefield 1. And we did get to play Domination, and we did get to play Conquest. So let me know what you think. Subscribe below, and leave your comments and suggestions. Steve Megatron Phillips signing out.